Hi, it's Felix Knight working on the last devlog, hopefully, for HyperHam Delivery Company. It's a game about rolling around in a hamster ball at high speed, delivering carrots to other hamsters. So I say hopefully the last one because the game is due in basically 3 days, including today. Three days that I have to get work done. And the game is like, I could probably turn it in right now and it would be fine. It would pass the class for sure, and I think I would get a pretty good grade. I'm mostly just doing stuff to try to get it ready for DigiPen's game gallery, which doesn't really have a deadline. I could do that whenever I want, but I don't really want to be working on it after the semester or during the break, anything like that. So I'm trying to cram it all in to the class so that I can do it with the remaining class time I have. So most of the last week and a little bit of the week before that, I think, was devoted to finishing up requirements for uploading it to DigiPen's game gallery. That's mostly what I'm going to be doing today and possibly like tomorrow. The first thing that I need to fix is my loading screen. So if I start this back up, you see there's a little loading screen and then the start splash screen. I think so sometimes the screen is like dark for a while and then you see the loading screen and then the other. I think what's happening is I set the I apply, let me go into the persistent level blueprint and I'm pretty sure it'll just be here. I changed the resolution in the full screen mode on the start of the game. Oh, I forgot, I took that out. Okay. Yeah, so that might have kind of fixed it. But what happens is I think it was doing that, and it was black screen for a while so that it could fix the resolution settings and apply them. And the load was happening faster than that. So then the level was starting, and the splash screen would start rolling, like the animation would play for it. While the screen was still dark, you couldn't see anything. And the resolution settings finish applying. The screen kind of like flicks on, and then you see like the splash screen fading out right at the end, which is not what I need. In fact, it would fail one of those TCR requirements that is the DigiPen logo needs to be shown for at least 2 seconds unaltered. So this might have fixed it, but I don't think I have a build that actually has that. So I'm going to make a build real quick and then see if that actually fixes this. Okay, we have a build. Let's watch in real time if this works as expected or not. Okay, black screen for a little while. I have a feeling that this is busted. Yeah. Oh man, that took such a long time. I have no idea why it is dark for that long. But I have, I think, a potential fix for it. So I think maybe another part of the problem is that it's like creating this widget and it's not like it's not ready to display it or something. I don't know. And then it starts trying to load the first level before it's like actually really ready. So what I'm going to try to do is put the loading screen into its own level, load that in, and then once that is fully loaded, then start loading in the level with all of my actual content in it. And the reason for that is right now the load screen widget is in the persistent level. So I think that could be what's causing my issues. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to put that loading widget into its own level, which shouldn't take very long at all, and we'll see if that fixes things. Okay, I did that setup. If we play in here, you'll see this loads. I set it to have a delay of 1 second, so just to test to make sure that it's actually so that I can see in the editor, because it's going to load faster than that actually. because everything is already here, but whenever you're launching the game from the desktop, obviously it's not going to do that. So actually that might even be a good thing to is shit build. Basically you can check whether or not this is like a, usually you can check whether or not it's a shipment build. That's weird. I know I'm doing that somewhere else in my code and I'm gonna need to do it more today, but yeah, I could usually do a little Boolean check to see, oh, if you know this is a shipment build, then don't do this delay, but if I'm in the editor, then do it. So I can't seem to get that figured out right now though. So in order to actually test this though, I need to make another package, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so now what we have going on is this black screen still lasts for too long, but at least the start, like the splash screen, shows for the correct amount of time, and that kind of deal. You get a nice hamster butt right at the start for some reason. Yeah, I just have no idea like why the screen is dark for such a long time on startup, so I might try to root around the internet a little bit and see if I can find an answer for that. Okay, so I just realized I couldn't tell what this should block on load was, so I figured Googling that might help solve my issue. And as a matter of fact, I think what this does is it stops execution after this until this level is actually loaded, which is probably what I want to be doing. So I'm going to try to do that. Except then, it doesn't make much sense to me that those things would still be getting triggered. I'm going to try to do this one as well, and then yeah, we'll see if I'll go ahead and make another package and see if this fixes it. Okay, that seems like it might have actually broken this because I just played it, only had a black screen, music starts, and we don't see the logo for long enough. I don't know. I'll have to keep, I think I need to look a little bit more into how these block on loads work, and yeah. Okay, I just set a delay of 5 seconds between finishing loading the loading screen and starting to load level 1, and that seems to give it enough time. I'm pretty sure what's happening is the game just isn't displaying anything for the first few seconds that the loading screen is up, and if the first level loads in too quickly, which actually happens, like everything gets loaded in faster than the game can just scale itself correctly and put itself in full screen. And I don't think there's any real way to get like when the game is done applying full screen settings, although that might be something that I want to look into. I'm going to try and take a look at that real quick. Hi, it's Felix Knight working on the last devlog, hopefully, for HyperHam Delivery Company. It's a game about rolling around in a hamster ball at high speed, delivering carrots to other hamsters. So I say hopefully the last one because the game is due in basically 3 days, including today. Three days that I have to get work done. And the game is like, I could probably turn it in right now and it would be fine. It would pass the class for sure, and I think I would get a pretty good grade. I'm mostly just doing stuff to try to get it ready for DigiPen's game gallery, which doesn't really have a deadline. I could do that whenever I want, but I don't really want to be working on it after the semester or during the break, anything like that. So I'm trying to cram it all in to the class so that I can do it with the remaining class time I have. So most of the last week and a little bit of the week before that, I think, was devoted to finishing up requirements for uploading it to DigiPen's game gallery. That's mostly what I'm going to be doing today, and possibly like tomorrow. The first thing that I need to fix is my loading screen. So if I start this back up, you see there's a little loading screen and then the start splash screen. I think, so sometimes the screen is like dark for a while and then you see the loading screen and then the other. I think what's happening is I set the, I apply, let me go into the persistent level blueprint. I'm pretty sure it'll just be here. I changed the resolution in the full screen mode on the start of the game. Oh, I forgot, I took that out. Okay. Yeah, so that might have kind of fixed it. But what happens is I think it was doing that and it was black screen for a while so that it could fix the resolution settings and apply them. And the load was happening faster than that. So then the level was starting and the splash screen would start rolling, like the animation would play for it. While the screen was still dark, you couldn't see anything. And the resolution settings finish applying. The screen kind of like flicks on, and then you see like the splash screen fading out right at the end, which is not what I need. In fact, it would fail one of those TCR requirements that is the DigiPen logo needs to be shown for at least 2 seconds unaltered. So this might have fixed it, but I don't think I have a build that actually has that. So I'm gonna make a build real quick and then see if that actually fixes this. Okay, we have a build. Let's watch in real time if this works as expected or not. Okay, black screen for a little while. I have a feeling that this is busted. Yeah. Oh man, that took such a long time. I have no idea why it is dark for that long. But I have, I think, a potential fix for it. So I think maybe another part of the problem is that it's like creating this widget and it's not like it's not ready to display it or something. I don't know. And then it starts trying to load the first level before it's like actually really ready. So what I'm going to try to do is put the loading screen into its own level, load that in, and then once that is fully loaded, then start loading in the level with all of my actual content in it. And the reason for that is right now the load screen widget is in the persistent level. So I think that could be what's causing my issues. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to put that loading widget into its own level, which shouldn't take very long at all, and we'll see if that fixes things. Okay, I did that setup. If we play in here, you'll see this loads. I set it to have a delay of 1 second, so just to test to make sure that it's actually so that I can see in the editor, because it's going to load faster than that actually, because everything is already here. But whenever you're launching the game from the desktop, obviously it's not going to do that. So actually, that might even be a good thing to ship build. Basically, you can check whether or not this is like a. Usually, you can check whether or not it's a shipment build. That's weird. I know I'm doing that somewhere else in my code, and I'm going to need to do it more today. But yeah, I could usually do a little Boolean check to see, oh, if this is a shipment build, then don't do this delay. But if I'm in the editor, then do it. So I can't seem to get that figured out right now, though. So in order to actually test this, though, I need to make another package. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so now what we have going on is this black screen still lasts for too long, but at least the start, like the splash screen, shows for the correct amount of time, and that kind of deal. You get a nice hamster butt right at the start for some reason. Yeah, I just have no idea like why the screen is dark for such a long time on startup, so I might try to root around the internet a little bit and see if I can find an answer for that. Okay, so I just realized I couldn't tell what this should block on load was, so I figured Googling that might help solve my issue. And as a matter of fact, I think what this does is it stops execution after this until this level is actually loaded, which is probably what I want to be doing. So I'm going to try to do that. Except then, it doesn't make much sense to me that those things would still be getting triggered. I'm going to try to do this one as well, and then yeah, we'll see if I'll go ahead and make another package and see if this fixes it. Okay, that seems like it might have actually broken this because I just played it, only had a black screen, music starts, and we don't see the logo for long enough. I don't know. I'll have to keep, I think I need to look a little bit more into how these block on loads work, and yeah. Okay, in a better attempt to see when things are like displaying versus when they're done loading, I actually put a sound that plays, so that the graphics shouldn't have any interference. If I play an editor, you see that this shows and the sound plays right as it starts. So whenever I package this, what I expect to have happen is to hear the sound play, which would indicate that, you know, the level is fully loaded. Actually, you know what? Just to kind of solidify this, it might be even better to put it into the persistent level load right here. Yeah, and then I know for sure that the screen is loaded whenever I hear that sound. And what I think is going to happen is I'm going to hear that sound pretty immediately after the game starts up, because the loading screen really should not take very long to load at all. And then, you know, we're going to have a few seconds of black screen before we actually see anything. So try that and we'll see what happens. Okay, so one, terribly sorry about the person that blows their leaves out of the driveway every single day. They never miss. And I'm going to start this, and I think earlier when I was showing like, oh, I'm going to play the sound and I played it in editor, I didn't have audio on, but now I should have the audio output capture on. So I'm going to start this. Know that when you hear the like little money sound, the loading screen is fully loaded in, it's animating, it's just not displaying yet because the resolution or whatever isn't set. And then once you see it, that's, you know, when everything's ready to go. So hear the money sound very, very quickly, and it's like a couple of seconds before you actually see anything on screen. Oh, so I just don't know how much I can even do about that, but fingers crossed that it doesn't end up hurting me for the thing. Maybe I'll even leave some sort of sound in, just so that the player knows that something is happening and that the game isn't just frozen up, it's just not, you know, full screened yet or whatever. So I'll find a better sound effect to play for that, I guess, and we'll do that. Okay, the person outside blowing leaves is actually my dad. Very funny. What I did was I just left in that little like money audio sound, and excuse me, I did this get accurate real time. Basically what this is doing is after the level 1 is finished loading, it makes sure that the game has been open, like it has started for at least 5 seconds before removing the load screen and starting the game. So the splash screen won't play before 5 seconds have elapsed total, is what is happening here. So hopefully that will give the game enough time to like get its full screen act together and do all that. You might not really see much of the load screen, but if that at least happens, then I think that's good. And that's that's really about as much as I can do. If I have issues with that requirement, I'm just going to have to explain to the game gallery team that, you know, the engine starts in full screen and it launches like this, and there's not really a whole lot I can do about it, it seems. So yeah, we're going to call that done for now. I have no idea how much time I spent working on that. Let's see. Only 17 minutes, 18 minutes. Good. Okay. Let's do this one next. Updating the or removing the cheats. So my idea for this is, right now I have all these just like debug keys so that I can get myself stuff. Those are still valuable to have though in the editor, even if just for the next few hours. God, that's so loud. Even if just for the next few hours. So what I'm going to do is, rather than having them just be, let me go to my ball and you might be able to see where I have some cheats set up. These debug get upgrades, they're just on key events. But if I put them on input actions, and then when the game starts up, what I think is I can unbind keys from those input actions, and I can just say, if this is at the start of the game, if this is a shipment build, just unbind the keys from those actions so you won't be able to do those cheats. So it allows me to use them in editor, but it's not going to let anybody use them once I actually package the game. So I'm going to see how that goes, and although that if the game is a shipment build or not, it wasn't working in the level blueprint, so I might have some complications with that. We'll have to see. Okay, I think since I'm working with a newer version of Unreal in my other game, I think that I used that node in that engine version, and it's just like not present in this one. So I don't know if there. It doesn't really seem like there's any way for me to get whether the current build is like a packaged, or what the current build configuration is. I know, like a little bit more. Okay, yeah, I don't think it's there. So what I'm gonna do instead, having cheats in the game definitely is helpful for like if I do a video later and I'm trying to do it outside of the editor, that kind of thing. If I'm just trying to do it with the shipment build, it's good for giving to my professor so that he doesn't have to like play through the whole thing every time he wants to test something. He can just use some debug keys. So my only other options for removing the cheats are to put them either in the pause menu or with like a tilde console. And in the editor, like, you can enter console commands this way, but I don't think you can do that in a shipment build easily in blueprints. So I don't really want to do a whole bunch of extra like menu work, but I might be able to figure out some way to sort of like integrate some cheats into what I have here easily. So I'm gonna give that a shot and see how that goes. Okay, so I just added some little cheat buttons off to the side of the options menu. It looks like it'll fit in here okay. And as long as you don't have like a really narrow monitor, everything should scale okay. Yeah, nothing's gonna scale poorly from being super ultra wide at least, which I think is like the main concern these days. It's less of people like trying to play on a 4x3 monitor or something like that. So, excuse me. Now I need to just wire up all these buttons to actually do something, which shouldn't be too difficult. Okay. So we got these in. Oh, I want the sound effects to at least be up so you can hear these things turn on and they get disabled whenever you do that. I have a feeling that... Oh, that's funny. Okay, you can't do them until you've started playing or you don't get all the feedback for them. Oops. Trying to think if there might be a better way to do that. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out something for that because I also don't want to disable the buttons and just like maybe I could just have a little thing under it that says like start the game to enable the buttons. Oh my god. Yeah, this is really messy. This is what happens when you have all these events that it's like, okay, now start taking input, or like now allow this thing to happen on the player. It just gets gunked up and things happen out of sequence. Okay, so now I have this set up that my cheats are darked out, and it says end the first conversation to unlock these. So now if I go through this, this is the first time I'm testing it, so we'll find out together if it works. Ooh, it doesn't. Actually, I have no idea why. Oh, probably because... yeah, I didn't actually make... Oops. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Now I gotta wait for the long old loading screen. If this was close to the start of the game, I would put in some way to like disable, or if I was like still had a bunch of stuff to do, I would like disable that loading screen while I was working in editor. But because I can't figure out, I don't have like a check if it's shipment build or not, and I'm not doing that much work left on the game, I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. So let's see. Aha, yay. Okay, cool. And now, yeah, that all works. It gives me all the stuff correctly. It's going to take a very long time for it to count up to, oh no, it just immediately counts up to like $9,999, which is plenty. So anyway, cool. My cheats are in. I'm just going to say enables cheats. It's a little bit janky, but again, I'm barely doing any more work to the game, so I'm not going to bother with making it like super duper clean code or anything like that. Okay, let's pop this over here. That was 35 minutes, which is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but okay. This is going to be the difficult thing. Proper minimization on loss of focus. Whenever you minimize the game, I'm going to have to test. Oh my god. Oh, you know what? I might be able to just test in like the play in editor window. That should probably be okay. Whenever you minimize the game or alt tab or whatever, it needs to pause, which, like, yeah, that's a pretty common thing in games. It's a good thing to have. The issue is you can't figure out when the game has lost the window focus in blueprints. There's no way to do it. They're definitely, there's no way to do it. So I think what I'm going to have to do is write some C++ code, which I've done a little bit of C++, so I'm not good at it by any stretch, but I can certainly, find something online and like copy paste it in basically in order to do that. I just need to get an event to trigger in my blueprints based on C++, so I don't think that's going to be a huge difficulty, but I think I need to convert the project into a C++ project in order to even do that. I know that there's a way to do it. My friend August, who's working on my team game, posted a thing about it in one of our forums the other day, but I have to do that, I think. So I'm going to see what that process is like, and it might end up changing this from an hour and a half to longer. I think it should be a pretty easy thing to move it to a C++ project, but I'm not sure, so we're going to find out. Whoa. Okay, that just scrolls to the bottom of the webpage automatically. Cool, I'm recording. I kind of hate, maybe not end is not a bad, or not a good key to use, but I'm letting Visual Studio stuff install in the background, reading this guide, and it doesn't look too bad. I already have, I'm pretty sure my Visual Studio stuff is all ready to go since they did, C# and stuff before moving to Unreal. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this stuff is ready anyway. I'll do this conversion. It doesn't look too bad, and then we'll see what else I need to do for that. While Visual Studio is doing its thing, this proper resumption of desktop resolution. But you know what? I can test this without I thought I needed to be an editor, but I can just test the last build that I made. So I'm gonna see. I think what I need to do is just try some full screen resolutions below what I'm currently using for the desktop resolution of 1080p, and we'll see if that ends up like basically if the game sets the entire desktop resolution to something, it needs to just set it back. Which I think it is doing, but I just want to check, and if it's not, then I have to figure out how to fix that, because it should be doing it automatically, so yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I set it to, I tried a lower resolution, and it looks like it's affecting my whole desktop. It's setting it to a lower resolution, so now we're going to quit and see if it switches it back, which it looks like it is. Fingers crossed. Okay, yeah. Seems to be working on my end, so hopefully that was just like a don't need to do any more work on. Already seems to be working. Fingers crossed. So now, while Visual Studio is continuing to do its thing, I guess I'm gonna get started on planning out what the video is gonna look like. So yeah, I'll just make probably a Word document or something and start doing that. Okay, so Visual Studio finished installing ideally, and I tried to generate my project files and it didn't work. So what I'm gonna see is if I can even just make a blank C++ project. And if I can't, then I have some other issue. But if I can, I'll probably just do what I did last time, where I like make basically an empty project and just navigate or migrate everything in. And yeah, I'm gonna try that. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm making the project, but I'm realizing I can't even open the old one, so I don't know if I'll be able to like get into what's the word? Migrate the stuff over. So I'm not sure. I guess we'll. And if I do, like, I would just have to. If I'm not able to migrate my stuff over, I would just have to like revert. But I have a pretty recent, commit to SVN of the work that I did, so I would probably have to redo most or all of the work that I've done today. But I don't know. At least I would be able to move my stuff over. We'll see. Yes, we're about to find out if it's gonna let me make something in C++. I'll give it a minute. Okay. This is loading up, so it seems like I was able to make a thing. Alright, I wonder if, let me see in here. Oh, if this is how you make a new C++ class, right? Let's see what if I do this. Path, source HyperHam. Compiling new C++. Okay. Yeah, this seems to be working alright, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I can't even open the other project, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, this looks like it's working at least, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with the other project before I can do anything, I guess. Okay, turned out just deleting the intermediate file fixed that problem. So yeah, I think I can go back to this, and hopefully I won't have to like migrate everything over to another project again. So we'll see. So we're now able to open the project. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I actually have no idea if this is gonna work. But ideally, the project will open, and I'm looking through all of these different forum posts, try to understand the stuff. And like I said, I haven't done C++ for a very long time, so my C++ is super rusty, but hopefully okay, things seem to be doing what I expect. So yeah, I'm gonna, I guess, crack open Visual Studio and start seeing if this stuff works. I also don't even know how to get like my code to compile from Visual Studio for Unreal, so we're gonna find that out. We're gonna see. Okay, everything. Oh, let me check. Yeah, cool. Recording. Everything got committed to SVN, so I at least have a point to back up if like something goes wrong. From here, I also wrote a script for the voiceover and recorded it like 3 times because three times is perfect. But I'll leave this in progress in case I need to do more work on it later. So now I guess there was something, yeah, somewhere in here this forum post seemed to explain how you might be able to open the project and get the things like the C++ files to actually show. So I'm gonna try to do that, and yeah, this is just the whole C++ conversion thing has been kind of a nightmare, but hopefully I'll at least be able to like do the C++ and see it working in Engine soon, and then we can figure out how to get the whole minimize thing working from there. Okay, because I've tried a bunch of different things in Visual Studio and all this stuff, and I haven't had any success. What I'm gonna try to do is make, like, I think I made a blank C++ project earlier and then deleted it. I'm gonna go ahead and make another blank C++ project, try to see if I can make C++ classes there and edit them and see them working in the engine. And if I can do all that, then I'm just gonna try to migrate my level over from this project to that one and redo all of the project settings again and everything. It's a huge pain, but like, I don't know, I've tried everything here, like show C++ classes, this, I looked at some plugin things and nothing, so yeah, gonna do that. Just try it with an empty project and see how that goes. Okay, blank project. I made an actor that literally just prints a thing. I learned how to do that from YouTube because I don't remember any C++ whatsoever. And that works. Yeah, I got my like little warning there. So I'm gonna, I guess, try to migrate over my stuff and see if that works. Okay, this happened. I got everything loaded back in. What was I gonna say? Something happened. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, the for some reason now the intro screen bypass is broken, so I have to fix that. I should probably sort that out now so that I don't forget about it. So I would imagine that just like the input is not being taken at the start. Here, I'll demonstrate it. So mouse is in the window. When I click here or do anything, it should bypass that screen, but it's not. So yeah, actually, I don't know if I need to make it so that you can bypass the DigiPen logo. I probably should anyway. I'm gonna try to fix that and see what's going on. I just realized why that's happening is I imported an old set of input, so these are not the same. So I need to just export these input things and then import them into the other project, which is here. That's the one. Replace it, yeah. And if I just import the exact same thing that I exported, lol. That's still not right. I have to figure out what's going on there. Seems like the ini file just wasn't getting rewritten, but now once the splash screen shows, if I left click, there we go. I don't get that anymore. And all that stuff is there, so very good. Okay, so now that we're past all that garbage, we're on to the actual kind of more tricky part of actually figuring out how to make. I think what I'm just gonna have is like an actor in the level that calls an event on the character or something. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna get the blueprint to communicate with the C++ actor. Yeah, I'll probably have to look into that a little bit, but yeah, we'll at least get the basic functionality in. Okay, I found a different tutorial. Oh, is this recording? Yeah, cool. I'm so paranoid about my button not working. But yeah, I found a different tutorial, started trying some of that. This thing didn't seem to be working. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask my gameplay programmer on my team if he can show me how to do it. So he's gonna start putting that in, implementing that in our team game tomorrow. And he said, if I figure it out, I'll just walk you through how to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. So if I put that off for a little while, then I have this. I'm just leaving in progress in case I need to re-record anything. But I can start recording my trailer footage. Actually, before I do that, I think I'm gonna build a game, and I'm just gonna run through every single game gallery requirement except for obviously this proper minimization, and make sure that everything is there. There isn't anything weird, that I can play the whole way through the game in its current state, and yeah, I'll just go through and triple check everything, just so, because getting that email later on, you know, in the middle of winter break or later on in the next semester or whatever, that's like, oh, sorry, your game couldn't be submitted because, you know, this stupid thing that either is a little bit of work that's a pain in the butt, or a bunch of work that you're like, oh no, I don't have enough time to actually do that for a while. That's really frustrating. So I'm going to go through, last check on everything, make sure it's all there, and then once that's done, we'll move on to the trailer. Okay, after having reviewed it, almost everything is checked off. Actually, we're really close. Actually, there's a few things that I want to check off. Well, I'll do that in a minute. But there's just like a handful of things, like the window title doesn't update to say the correct thing. It should say HyperHam Delivery Company, but I think it says like HyperHam New right now. Let's see. I need to update these, like, these licenses are probably okay, but I want to also just link, like in this case, I want to link to Haley's, the original font and stuff, just so that it's obvious where that open font license came from, and the same thing for this Nathan Lovato one. So there's just a few little things that I need to clean up, as well as obviously the proper minimization of focus. But I think once that minimization of focus is in, I'm basically good. I just need to have all the other materials done for the submission, which I'm gonna hopefully, maybe I'll go through and finish the trailer tonight, and I'll have everything. And then I'll just have to do that last implementation bit sometime this weekend whenever my gameplay programmer is available. So I'll go through and check off the last few things, and then we'll pick up from there. Okay, I cleared through all the TCR stuff. Now, really for realsies, all I need to do on the game itself is just fix that minimization issue, and then I need to update the installer once I'm done doing that, and it'll be good to go. So I got my VO recorded. I can obviously go back and record more, but I'm gonna go through and record the footage that I'll need for the trailer, which will probably underestimated on these. It'll probably take me more than 30 minutes to do footage and more than an hour to edit, but yes, we'll find out. So I'm gonna probably write a list down of what footage I actually need, and then I'll go capture it. Okay, I have 6 minutes of footage. Yeah. Oh, that's one of the ones that's recording right now, yeah. So I have enough footage. I'm gonna go through and convert it, and then I'll get everything into Lightworks, which is what I use for video editing, and I'll start putting it together. Okay. Whoa. What did I just do? I think I just went to the end of the clip. Okay. Yeah, basically, I just wanted to show I have the stuff in. I don't have the audio playing so that it doesn't, conflict with what I'm saying right now, but the video is all there. I need to go through and sort of adjust the volume a little bit for times when generally my voice is quiet, but also I need to cut out like these weird little or little breathing and clicking and things. So yeah, I'll go through and kind of clean up the audio a bit, and then it needs music, and my friend is working fervently on getting that music, those files to me. So I think I'm just gonna wait for her to finish them, and if not, I'll probably just use very quiet, like the chiptunes music that I got for free. So yeah, I'll go through and fix my audio at least though. Okay, so right as I finished editing my voice stuff for the trailer, my friend got me the game music, and I guess she's also done with the main menu music. So the main menu music sounds fantastic. It's really, really good. So that's what I'm going to be using in the trailer. So I'll get that in, and then the next thing that I have to do is write a description for the game. I'm just going to make sure that I have all the stuff ready so that I don't have to spend any time really filling out the form once my installer is good to go. Okay, I got, I think, pretty much everything written that I could. They actually want a really, really brief description for the game gallery, like a sentence or maybe two. But I also had to go through and I made a thumbnail for the trailer, and then I made one for the little slot that shows in the game gallery. So both of those are done, and the trailer is uploaded to YouTube, which is funny because by the time you're watching this now, it will have been uploaded to YouTube for a while. There's something that I was gonna do here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna swap in the music that my friend sent me, and then I think that'll definitely be it for today, and I'll hopefully come back tomorrow or maybe Sunday, depending on when my graphics programmer on my team starts on the minimization thing for our team game, so he can show me kind of how to do it for my solo project. So until then. Okay, abrupt ending. I did not get that specific feature, the pause on minimize, implemented in time. My gameplay programmer on my team did figure out how to do it, implemented it for our game, and then was like, I'm super tired. And I was like, if you want to just wait to show me, if you're willing to do that to winter break whenever we're not both crushed under the weight of assignments, which is why also this video is coming out several days late. I'm finishing it on Wednesday night whenever I basically wrapped everything up on Friday afternoon, and then just, Sunday I compiled the new build, updated my installer, and just submitted that. I got good feedback in the class, so I did well. So I'm not going to make a video just purely for implementing that, but once I learn how to do that, yeah, I'll implement it, package the game, and then hopefully submit it to the DigiPen game gallery. That process is really easy as long as I don't get anything back saying oh, you missed something somewhere. Then I should be good, and I'll be able to post a download link and stuff, and people will be able to play it. I will make probably another video for this project that goes over, I have to write a post-mortem for the class, so I'll probably make a video just kind of explaining the stuff that's in that document, which is what went well, what didn't go well, what would you do differently for your next project. So that's probably going to come later on. Something over the winter break that I'm interested in doing is a little development challenge where I make a game purely out of free Unreal Marketplace content, and just kind of make a game level or something like that using other people's mechanics and art assets and stuff that they've uploaded for free. I don't know if I'm going to do that. It's just an idea I had, and I was like, that could make a cool video, since I have really enjoyed doing these kinds of things. And then I may also do the same process, but basically from the very beginning for my solo project next semester, which I'm working on the paperwork to get the class to go through because it'll be an independent study. It'll just be me. But that game is going to be about reducing global warming, hopefully. That is my goal, and it seems like that class is going to go through, and that's what I'm going to be doing next semester. So more of that stuff is coming, so if you have enjoyed this, I'm super glad, and stay tuned because there might be more cool stuff in the future, or even cooler stuff, hopefully. I don't know if HyperHam wasn't the most amazing thing ever, but yeah, that's kind of it for the dev stuff for this week, and hopefully soon, probably over winter break, which ends or starts week after next, I'll get into that postmortem video, and then this series of HyperHam Devlogs will be like done for sure. But thank you for watching this week, and I'll see you later.